Hello everyone and welcome back. This video is going to entail the growth of my collection. If you saw my first video, you saw what I started out with my collection throughout my youth, and now I took to a few stores out here in Dallas, Texas. I started to look on eBay for cards, and also I'll show you there's a Beckett grading company out here in Dallas, Texas. So I took a lot of the raw cards I bought to the grading company, and I'll show you what they came back as. To start out, I'll show you 3 cards which I bought at some of the card shops I went to. One is a 1964 Topps Willie McCovey. Very nice and clean card, front to back. I think I paid about $10 for this card. It's very clean and beautiful. Obviously, the centering is probably the issue why this card didn't come back any higher. But to invest in the 1969 NL MVP and someone from the 500 home run club, I didn't mind. Same thing with this one. This card I thought would come back a lot higher, especially because in this particular year, the black border is very hard to find a clean card. But again, the centering I think is the main issue with a card like this. But I was getting my feet wet with the grading company and trying to figure out what they saw and deemed what the grade would be, and I was comparing what I would look at. Same thing with this Ernie Banks 1960 card, Mr. Cub. I thought it was a beautiful card at the time when I purchased it. I think I paid about $15 for this card. Afterwards, I noticed there's like a little wrinkle by the C and the A. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up, but it's probably the reason why it came back a 4.5. I thought it would be around a 5 or a 6 because otherwise it's very clean, sharp looking. The edges look good, the corners look good, but nonetheless, these were the first few cards I purchased and I thought they'd come back higher. So at the card shops, I didn't buy too many cards because I didn't figure they were worth investing in. Very inflated prices based on the fact that they gotta keep the doors open, pay rent, make a profit. So that's where I turned my sights more towards eBay. And I found this card. I started very small. I think I paid like $10 for this rookie card, 1978 Topps, Paul Molitor, Alan Trammell. Very clean card. Came back at 6.5. So I was kind of happy with this grade, especially with the fact that the centering is a little off, right to left. But at this point, I think my eye was getting a little bit better with what to look for. Because also at a 6.5, I received on this Warren Spahn Fleer 1963 card. 1957 Cy Young winner. Not a sought after card at all, because I think this is the first year Fleer came out. First or second year. But just because he's Hall of Famer, Warren Spahn, and I really thought this card would come back as an 8 or a 9. If you could tell with the shine, the sheen on the card, there's nothing wrong with this card. Centering, corners, edges. I was kind of surprised this one came back as a 6.5, but it is what it is. At least it wasn't an expensive card. And then afterwards, I started finding a few cards that were graded, and I paid for what the going rate on these cards were raw. So to save on the grading, I thought they were a good investment. This card's not that expensive, but he is still one of the best Cubs to ever play the game. Billy Williams rookie card from 1961. And it's a grade 5, which is an excellent card. The centering is pretty nice on that one. This card, I barely paid anything for. I think I won this card at $3, graded and all. Could not complain from Mr. Perfecto joining the squad, Don Larson. As a Yankee fan, I felt like I did not mind owning this card based on the history he added as a Yankee. And then the home run single season king, yes, I don't care about Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, or Barry Bonds. This guy is still the home run king to me. Came back as a 5. Well, not that it came back as a 5, but graded as a 5. 1961 Topps Roger Maris. I think with this one I paid around $75 for it. And that was slightly underneath what I think the going rate for a card like that would be. I generally look to spend maybe 75% or less on what the card I deem should be worth, or you look at the history for what the card goes for, and I never bid for what the going rate would be unless it's like just beautifully centered, perfect, flawless, what have you. But most of the time I lose. If I bid on 20 cards, I maybe hit on one of them, and that's because I bid way less than what the card should go for, which is what I did with all these cards on eBay. Another card I added to the collection, 1956 Topps Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid. I was a little leery in bidding on this card only because I don't own a card like this other than I think my 1954 Topps Warren Spahn card. But I took a chance, and beforehand I bought this card before I received it to compare it to. But then you gotta laugh because I had no idea that they have 2 versions, a white and a gray back. So the gray back is a little bit thicker, so there was nothing to compare it to. And I still submitted it hoping it wasn't trimmed or came back nice, and it did, 5.5. I think I paid about $100 for this card, and for 5.5, I think the going rate for something like that would be about $250, maybe even $3. But very clean card, very happy with that card. Next, I have one of my favorite players growing up, 1969 Reggie Jackson, very iconic rookie card. Came back a 6. Obviously the centering is off to the left, but other than that, sharp corners, clean card. And I've always dreamt of owning this card. I clearly remember fogging up many cases in New York just staring at this card as a kid. And now I could finally say I own this card. And it conjures up memories of going to the stadium with my dad, my family, and sitting in the bleachers and watching him hit home runs, the whole crowd chanting Reggie, Reggie, Reggie. And then when he'd take the field the next inning, they'd throw quarters and singles. And if they were giving out Reggie bars that day, they'd throw Reggie bars and they'd have to stop the game. So yeah, Reggie Jackson brings back a lot of fond memories. And then I found this Mike Schmidt rookie 1973 card. Very beautiful card, nice centering, nice corners, nice everything, but the back is where the issue is. It's off-centered. Nonetheless, Mike Schmidt, part of the 500 hit club, one of the best third basemen that ever played the game. He's a 3-time NL MVP, won the home run crown 8 times, 10-time Gold Glover. I mean, yeah, pretty happy I have that card now. And then I came upon one of the oldest cards I now own. 1948 Bowman Stan Musial rookie card. Stan the Man. Yes. Very stoked I have this card. It came back as a 1.5, but only because it has a few creases here. But it's centered beautifully front to back. Very clean back. And if you ever go on the eBay history, you'll see that ones go for like anywhere from $250 to $300. I think I paid $90 for this card. So I'm very proud to have found that card. And then I went a more recent route, because at the time when I was hot for all these bids and everything, this particular guy was tearing it up with home run barrages left and right and just terrorizing the Orioles. So I treated this card as an investment. I think I paid $250 for this card. And a lot of the autograph cards, like rookie cards, you see them going for about $1,000, especially if they take off at such a young age. So I felt like it was a wise investment to I think $250 was what I paid. And you see them going for $1,000, like Cody Bellinger, Ronald Acuna. So we'll see if he puts up a few more seasons if this is in the $1,000 range. But this is one card I'm treating as a future investment to go up in price. And then my last three cards are the cream of the crop. Three iconic cards I always dreamt of owning, never thought I could. And I have a 1954 Topps Ernie Banks. Mr. Cub, Mr. Sunshine, one of my favorite cards I always admired when I would look at a Beckett grading book growing up. Always find him there on an advertisement and could always remember that smile on the card. Such a beautiful card. Could only compare cards like Ken Griffey Jr. or that 90 score Frank Thomas card. Such a winning smile on that card. I mean, what is there to say about Ernie Banks? One of the best shortstops, 500 home run club, 58-59 MVP. I mean, only Wagner and Ripken were up there with him as like the best shortstops of the century. Another iconic card, which I've always dreamt of owning, a 55 Roberto Clemente rookie card. One of the Hispanic heroes. Oh my God, I bought this raw. I took a chance and I got lucky. I spent a little over $1,000 for this card. And once it came back graded a 5, I was so happy. The only thing that kept this from being a 6, because the centering is so beautiful, it's clean, the corners are sharp, is there's like a slight indentation by the G. I don't know if the camera picks that up. But other than that, it's a very beautiful card. Happy to own this card. I mean, he's a 1966 NL MVP, 12 straight gold gloves, 4-time batting title winner, 317 lifetime average. And the last but not least, the home run king, Screw Barry Bonds. I don't even acknowledge him and his big head. 1954 Topps, Hammerin' Hank Aaron. Beautiful card. I mean, at least he's still the record holder for RBIs at 2297. But 3 cards that I've always dreamt of owning growing up. Still can't believe I own these 3. This, along with my SP Derek Jeter card, are going to be the cream of my crop now. And I mean, I want you to comment below what you think. Tell me what other, you know, famous nicknames come to mind when you think of baseball players. And stay tuned, because I still have more cards I want to add to my collection. I still have cards that I set my sights on, but I couldn't win the bid on. Like, I bid on Nolan Ryan. I bid on cards like the Willie McCovey rookie, Carter Yastrzemski rookie. I couldn't win those. Obviously, Pete Rose was another one I bid on. Tom Seaver, Johnny Bench. A lot of those cards I bid on, the nicer cards. I just couldn't win them, but I'm still going to keep plugging away and try to add those. So maybe by the next video, you'll see the update where they're included. I have yet to own a Mickey Mantle card, so I'm going to set my sights on him now. And let's see. Stay tuned. I'm still plugging away, guys, and let's see where this goes. Bye.